Hello, and welcome back to the Holistic Witch's Cottage. My name is Melissa, and I am the Holistic Witch, and today we're going to talk about how all things are interconnected in the magical world, and 1212 portal, a simmer pot recipe, and then the topic for today is all things gingerbread. So at the time of my recording, it is 12/12/25. Many memes, many posts out about the 12/12 portal to release all those things from a 9-year cycle that no longer serve you and move on to higher enlightenment and alignment. So last night on my Yoga and Time Facebook group, I posted links to numerous 12/12 meditation videos on YouTube, of course, and a few involving angel meditations as well. Now, in regards to meditations and holistic work, I've played around with numerous things on YouTube and different sources, and some don't align or resonate with my Christian path, but I'm pretty comfortable with angel meditations. So I did one last night. It was to connect with the 12 chakra system. So those are the chakras below your body, the 7 main in your body, and a few above, to cleanse my angelic chakras through angelic healing. And then later I will proceed with a 12/12 meditation. And I'll let you know how that goes next week. We'll see if there's any major changes. So this morning I woke up and it's very cold here, like 0 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures. And I was having asthma triggers and just not feeling well in general. So I started my day out with a healing simmer pot. I posted a little Guess My Simmer Pot post a few places on social media, and I noticed that no one was taking any chances on that. I used to do Guess the Simmer Pot every day. It used to be popular, and then people were getting annoyed with me. But I decided to do one today. So 7 ingredients in my simmer pot today, all either from my kitchen or something that I grow here at the cottage and have drying in the kitchen. So it's a mix of store-bought and homegrown or home foraged. So for today's cozy holiday simmer pot and upper respiratory soother, I started with 4 cups of water in one of my big soup pots and added a little bit of pink Himalayan salt on that. And I'll have to pause midway in this podcast to check it and see if it needs water. So I need to remember to do that. So I started by adding my favorites, rosemary and thyme. I had some oranges left over in the fridge that were starting to look a little yucky, those small ones. So I quartered those up and tossed those in. I have thyme drying on my rack in the kitchen, so I put a lot of thyme in, a pinch of rosemary, a pinch of peppermint, and then I decided to get a little more cozy with the holidays. I have some spruce tips, some spruce needles that I have in a jar on my main family altar. So I added some spruce tips, some juniper berries, and just since I had the citrus smell, I wanted a lemon smell too, but decided not to go with lemon juice because I don't have any lemon peel right now. So I added lemon verbena dried leaves, homegrown here. I've not tried this combination before, and within 40 minutes, I was breathing so much more smoothly. Now, I did take my regular medications. I didn't skip any of that. but I was breathing so much more smoothly. So if that's something that ails you during the winter as well, maybe a combination of some of those. Thyme is wonderful for upper respiratory. Pine, in my case, I use spruce because that's what we had. And juniper berries. What a wonderful combination for the winter holidays. And feeling good after that. Feeling well enough to come and do the podcast. So today is all things gingerbread. So I'm going to take a quick pause and then we'll come back and talk about that. So that was quick. I'm back. So I actually have a gingerbread cake in the oven right now. I wanted to give that a little poke test, and I turned the simmer pot off just so we don't have any accidents during the recording. So, all things gingerbread. In gingerbread folklore, historically, and a lot of this centers around European tradition, there were times when gingerbread was used to promote abundance, prosperity, and wealth. Later, it was the food of royalty. Is this sounding similar to the fruitcake one I did? It should, because it's almost identical in the correspondences. Then, during the Reformation, there was actually, well, let me go back a step, the gingerbread cookie thing. In some parts of Europe, people were making the gingerbread men, and we probably all know some version of that story. I used to be a kindergarten teacher, so I've even made hand puppets for this. Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm a gingerbread man or a gingerbread gal or whatever version you're using today. In the 15 to 1600s during famine, there were a lot of stories and poems about food running away. And then as there was abundance again, food was more about royalty. So as people were making these, then they started to personify the gingerbread cookies in the shape of humans. And guess who's up? I should have known it. It's Wonder Dog. Come on in. And so people were assigning human qualities to their gingerbread men, naming them, perhaps writing names on them. You may not sit on the phone, Wonder Dog. Perhaps naming them, assigning qualities, writing on them the frosting, and even using them for healing and or baneful magic. So then gingerbread cookies got this bad rap about being used by witches. So during the Reformation in a few Northern European countries, there was a time where there was an actual ban on making gingerbread men or gingerbread cookies because it was considered dark witchcraft. And then, that seems to happen when things aren't going well politically. We could make some correlations to what's happening in the United States today, honestly, with that. And then things got better and people were allowed to make cookies and decorate them and make them look wonderful and beautiful. And now the modern day gingerbread cookie can look very differently from what they were producing hundreds of years ago. There is a meme going around about the voodoo cookies. Skip the gingerbread, do the voodoo cookies. And I don't know if that graphic is AI generated or that's a real photo of real goth cookies that someone made, but they are amazing looking. They are so cool. What do you think about it, Momo? I think I just woke up and I don't want to do the podcast. Alright. You smell what's in the oven, I think. Yeah. So, there are all types of ways to cook and bake with gingerbread, and I have been posting various recipes all week for this week's theme. So from gingerbread cake to gingerbread whoopie pies, or what my mom called gobs. So that would be 2 cake-like cookies with a cream cheese frosting or a buttercream frosting. In between, the traditional decorated gingerbread cookies, gingerbread houses that were used to ward off evil and used for protection, decorated with various candies and various things to bring various sweetening correspondences into your home. And then there was Hansel and Gretel and the witch's house made of gingerbread, and then we went into this weird period in that part of the world where gingerbread houses were banned because they were evil, and then they weren't. And it's funny how history cycles like that. And, now you can buy little box kits to make gingerbread houses. I've never tried to make one directly from scratch, baking all the gingerbread planks from scratch. I have used a box kit. They're cute, but to me it feels a little wasteful because we can't eat them. What do you think about that, Momo? Time to do another poke test on the gingerbread cake? Time to do another poke test on the gingerbread cake. I'm going to let Momo out, and I will be right back again. So Momo, the wonder dog, and I are back, and the house smells so good because the gingerbread cake is out of the oven. What do you think about that? Now, Momo, this is one that I can't share with you because there are a few items, a few ingredients in that gingerbread cake that may not be pet safe. There's different opinions about this, but certain things like pumpkin pie spice, cloves, cinnamon, some people do not like to use them or feed them to dogs. Momo's becoming an older gentleman, and he has a lot of triggers that make him sick, even though he's medicated for certain things. So we're extra careful on that. So you'll be eating your biscuits, but not sharing the gingerbread cake. So let me just jump into the recipe that I used, and then we'll talk about a few other things that can be done in the holidays to promote prosperity, abundance, and gingerbread folklore. I posted the recipe that I'm using today. I've posted others during the week, so if you don't like mine, you can use a different version. But I did post the one that I just used this morning. And it was very easy, and I didn't have to use the KitchenAid or the electric mixer. I mixed it all by hand, docile, clockwise of course, for positivity. So I preheated my oven to 325, and I used one of my dark 8x8 square pans sprayed. And I got my big ceramic mixing bowl, and I started with a half cup of butter Crisco. You could use salted or unsalted butter for that as well. I just prefer to bake with butter Crisco for some health reasons around this cottage. And then I added 3/4 cup of low-fat milk and 1 egg lightly beaten. I used a no molasses recipe because I have some sensitivities to things, and molasses is one of those things that sometimes can trigger an allergy flare-up for me. So I substituted 1 cup of brown sugar, and I used the Splenda variety because of Kiddo and his diabetes. So I whipped those all up with one of my favorite silicone spatulas, and then added the flour, the baking powder, and the baking soda. Now, I did a mix. My recipe called for 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I was almost out and honestly too lazy to go down to the basement and get more. So I did about 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and then topped that off with 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour. So we'll see how that turns out. I did not add any Chucky sourdough starter to this recipe today. So this one is without sourdough. Wanted to try it to get the full gingerbread flavor without the sourdough addition. I believe it was 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of salt. And I grind my own, and I use pink Himalayan. And I think that's everything that was in that recipe, and then I added the spices. So I used some pumpkin pie spice. Momo's going crazy here. I used some pumpkin pie spice, added some extra ginger, actually a lot of extra ginger, and a little extra cloves. Stirred all that up with my favorite silicone spatula, stirred all that up, poured it into my pre-sprayed pan, waited for the oven to be ready. Momo, if you're not going to be nice, I'm going to ground you and toss you from this room. What do you think about that? You'll have to go in with Reggie. What do you think about that? I don't want to go in with Reggie. Reggie's big brother. You'll have to go in with Reggie if you can't play nice during the podcast. Mommy's mean. Alrighty. So, I put all that in the oven. 325 oven. If you're using light pans, you may want to go with 350. And I baked mine for 20 minutes, and that was just right. And it's on a cooling rack on the table right now. I will serve mine probably with whipped cream. And that sounds oh so yummy, delicious to promote prosperity, abundance, and holiday joy. And maybe a little 12-12 portal joy too. What do you think about that, Momo? He is being weird. I know, because you can smell yummies in the kitchen. And I'm not letting him in there right now. I'm not letting you in there. What are you going to do about it? Absolutely nothing. Some other gingerbread things I've been playing with. I will probably not do a gingerbread house this year. I don't have room for one, honestly, and I don't like the food waste. But Reggie, Christopher, and I may mess around with making some gingerbread cookies later in the week. We will make the edible kind. When I was a teacher and worked with the little kids, the applesauce and cinnamon recipe was very popular for making tree ornaments. Almost every teacher I know did this with their classes. Now that was a long time ago that I was in the class, and I know some schools have different rules about allergens coming in, and cinnamon can be considered one of the top 8 allergens. So some schools may be preventing that. But I posted that recipe earlier in the week too, which was 1 cup of smooth store-bought applesauce. I suppose you could make your own if you wanted to. It's just a lot of work. And 1.5 cups of ground cinnamon. Now, that's a lot of containers of cinnamon, and cinnamon can be sort of expensive, so use your judgment on that. There are other recipes out there that also call for liquid glue, like Elmer's glue in the mix. I've never used that one, so I can't give a review on it. I've never done that in the classrooms or when I was a home visitor working with younger children. That was my job, to go from house to house and do visits with younger children to work on their developmental learning. I used this recipe a lot with the moms, and it was popular. Everybody seemed to like it. You mix the applesauce and the cinnamon until it's thick, you roll it out. Little kids like to roll with the rolling pin. I usually just used flour on a newspaper because you weren't going to be eating it. But you could use parchment, or, if you have a nice pastry mat or pastry board, that would be awesome to roll it out till it's about 1/2 inch thick, and then just go ahead and use your gingerbread man, cookie cutters, or your stars, or your reindeer, or whatever you're using for the holidays. Let those dry. Some people like to put them on a low oven, like 170 to 200, to dry in the oven. I just used to air dry mine. We had some for years that we reused, and at some point they were just starting to rust up because we used them for a very long time. I think we used them for over 10 years. They never did go bad. So that's one version of a gingerbread ornament that you can do. Now, if you want to add some magic to your gingerbread ornaments, just stir in your intention. And if you're decorating them, maybe you can decorate with sigils, symbols, or use some color magic on those. It all works. Now, what I've been working on this week is I've been crocheting gingerbread men. Tiny ones for the tree and larger ones just as stuffies. Now, I have one that I did add a little bit of clove oil to my fiber fill, so it smells very holiday delicious. And so that's probably my favorite. I've played with different versions of gingerbread poppets this week. I had hoped to sew one before doing this podcast, but didn't get around to it. We have some leftover denim. I think Kiddo and I are going to make some gingerbread inspired denim stuffies, poppets. They're stuffies. What do you think? We'll just call them stuffies. We'll call them cuties. Denim gingerbread cuties to donate to a local charity. And I think we'll fabricate those. So there's really no limit to your own creativity. I have friends that make gingerbread inspired jewelry, gingerbread inspired tea, which is easy enough. It's like chai spice. And gingerbread inspired foods. And you can use them all for prosperity and abundance, and to bring that cozy feel and aromatherapy into your house. So I don't know how well this is going to translate over the podcast, but I was asked about my crochet pattern for doing my gingerbread man. So I did some dark brown ones and I did some light tan ones, and I actually prefer the light tan ones. I started out I don't do the magic ring thing, and I did actually post a pattern up if anyone wants to follow it. I hate to crochet doing the magic ring thing, so I started by chaining 3 and making a circle. Inside that circle, I've done different sizes, so I'm just going to pick one and you alter it if you want, okay? So for the double crochet one, I did 6 double crochets inside that circle and fastened off to make a wider small circle. And then I continued with double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet in the first stitch, and then 2 double crochet in the rest of the stitches. And I just keep growing that circle to make my body until it's as big as I want it to be. And I've been playing with different ones. So some just have 2 rows and one actually has 5 rows. The big guy has 5 repetitions of growing the circle. Now, if you're not sure how to grow a circle in crochet, once you do that second row of 2 stitches inside each stitch, then you may want to go to 2 stitches and then single, single, 2 stitches. No, it's 2 stitches, single, 2 stitches, single, 2 stitches, single until you complete the circle. The next row is 2 stitches, single, single, 2 stitches, single, single, 2 stitches, single, single. The next one is, this sounds crazy, I don't know how this is going to sound back on playback. 2 stitches, single, single, single. It's not singing. It sounds like Mom's singing, huh? 2 stitches, single, single, single. But each time you increase and start a new row. You start with 2 stitches and then increase your singles by 1. Watch first circle, make sure it doesn't go out of shape, and you could grow that circle indefinitely with that pattern. Once I have my circle, I decided to add arms and legs, so I chose where I wanted to put my first arm. And depending on the size of the circle, let's say we're using the medium size circle, 3 repetitions. I chain 4 and then double stitch or half crochet, I think I did for the arms. Half crochet back into those stitches, and then it just forms like a little spindly arm. Then I slip stitch down to where I want a leg, and I do the same thing with a leg, but I do 5 or 6 chains. Then double crochet or half stitch back into that to make a longer stitch. Slip stitch a few more, make another leg, and then I think I slip stitched 5 and then made another small arm. And again, I do have a pattern written out on the Facebook page if you want to try this. So I've been playing with different ways to add the head on. The first one I did, I just started with a whole new circle. I just fastened off and quit with the body and the appendages. And then I started a new piece and made a new circle. Again, 3 chains, fasten off, make a small circle, 6 stitches, then 12 stitches, then 18 stitches to make a head, and I just sewed it on top. Now, as I made more of these, I found another way to go with one continuous space by just making a little loop at the top where the neck is and growing a circle inside that. They don't exactly look the same. The ones that I did in one continuous piece of yarn look a little different. It's personal choice. They're both cute. Now, some of them I did that twice. So I made a front and a back, and I stuffed them and made them fat and stuffy. And then I trimmed them. Oh, no, are you okay? I don't know if he has the hiccups. You're the hiccups. Oh, poor buddy. I used pink or white to trim them up, and then I use the safety eyes, or I embroider on eyes, or whatever. Play around with different colors of trim colors. I was using a lot of pinks and whites and some reds, and little heart buttons and little different designs. And you're only limited by your own creativity and your own intentions. Now, I've said before, and people worry about this, I do not do baneful magic. This is not my thing. I am totally like homespun, cottagey. I know that some people use stuffies and poppets or even gingerbread cookies for baneful magic. This is not my way. I only do things to make people feel good, to bring abundance, prosperity, good health, good aromatherapy, happy lives. This is how my faith aligns and how my path resonates for me. Now, there are people who use such things for baneful purposes, You may witch as you wish, but this is not my way, so I will not be getting into the details of that. But there is a little trick with cloves. So if you think that someone has hexed or cursed you using anything, not necessarily cool gingerbread stuff, you can take a glass of water, drop a clove in it, and if it sinks, you may be dealing with some evil intentions. If you think you may have been at a room in your house or a place in your property has been hexed, cursed, or hit with some negativity, you can go from room to room, and if that clove sinks, that's the room where the negativity lies. And then you can use whatever you want to bring positivity into your life. You can smoke cleanse, incense cleanse, or maybe that cool simmer pot I told you about in the beginning. Juniper berries are awesome for cleansing, and they smell good too. So I think that will sum up all things gingerbread. I think next week we'll talk about Yule and maybe some other winter holidays, maybe astronomical solstice. I'm a science nerd, so I'm more into the science of solstice than the folklore of solstice, although I will share some because I know a lot of people like that. So as always, if you have any questions or need anything, you can reach out to me at theholisticwitch@gmail.com or on any of the social medias that you follow me on. Momo seems to be having a little problem with the hiccups, and I have a few more chores to work on, so I think I will leave you today. If you're doing 12/12 portal work, blessings on your journey. If you're baking and cooking like Miss Melissa, blessings on your journey. Otherwise, tomorrow's the weekend. Just have fun. I think we're going to do our Christmas photo op thing that we always do and go to my favorite farmer's market. And we decided to do mostly food gifts this year. We do celebrate Christmas here, so we decided to do mostly food gifts. And kiddo loves like home canned, I'm going to call it weird, home canned things. Like if I bought him a whole basket of like pickled Brussels sprouts, pickled asparagus, he would be the happiest kid ever. So, which is weird, but we're weird. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, blessings on your journey. Remember that everything's connected. You can bring positivity into your life, and cooking is its own magic. Bye-bye.